Episode 3 of Beat the Drop, and who is gonna survive? Let's get into it. Good morning, good evening, or good night, wherever in the world you are. Hope you're doing well, and welcome to Beat the Drop. Rich, stop dancing already, right? We haven't even said hellos yet, and he's there celebrating.
If you don't pack this in, you're going to lose your spot on this panel, mate. You'll be gone.
Honestly. You're on mute, Rich, which is good.
Sorry, I was just saying I might be losing that spot in 2 weeks anyway, so it's all good. It's all good.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. I mean, because you're going up.
I'm here for the long ride.
Me too. We love it.
We love the commitment. Right, just to let you guys know, the Hollywood stars are on their way. Oscar is coming. We've got Jack coming from Matchday Vlogs. Mike is hiding after Man U tonked Everton, so he's gone and hidden in Benidorm, and Scott can't make it from the Wolves side of things. But there is plenty of us to get chatting away. Boys, hope you're all well. I hope... I don't know. We got to start. We got to start with the...
One of us is.
Well, two. Jase thinks. I mean, Jase. We'll get into that tweet in a bit, and I got to talk about that. But I want to start. With the Leicester Bournemouth game.
We can't start Palace talk until the Leeds fan arrives.
Well, we can't. Yeah, we need Oscar in to start that, and Oscar is updating his PC right now. Let's start with one's smiling and one looks depressed. Who do we go to? Do we go to the smiler or the depressor first? John, start us off, mate. How do you feel about Maddison? Does that put him as your top assister now this season?
Fucking hell.
Nice one, Wolverine. No, he doesn't. But he's probably Leicester's top assister, and he's still managed to do that. So that shows what position they're in, unfortunately. But I mean, to be fair, we were knocking down the door most of that first half, and at the start of the second, I don't know how we didn't score either. There was a scramble.
Knocking! You broke the fucking back doors down, mate. Knocking. Taking the piss.
We won, whatever. Either way, it was a win. It was a deserved win, and we're looking in a really good spot now. I think if Rich isn't going to be on this in a few weeks, I don't think we'll be too far behind him at this rate.
The cockiness!
I'll be going as well soon. Bye.
Shut up, Jace. You're going nowhere, mate. Have you seen your running?
Jase, the only team you managed to beat recently is the only team that's on the beach so far this season. So,
the beachers.
So we'll see what happens in your next few games. But
I mean, Jace, you had to get there by paddling to the beach. I mean, how much more beach did you want, according to your tweet, man? Seriously,
that was embarrassing.
You know what? I'm superstitious. That's luck. That's luck.
Oh, you're gonna retweet it next week, are you?
Retweet that every game now.
You can't canoe up the river to every single game.
We're gonna canoe all the way up to the Premier League, Championship. We're gonna win the league now.
Oh
You
God!
said one word in there that sounded about right. Championship.
I don't think you're out of it, Jace. We'll come to West Ham in a second, right? But can we start? Well, carry on with this whole Bournemouth Leicester thing. But guys, we forgot. We gotta give Lee a round of applause and congratulations on their new manager, Dean Smith, ladies and gentlemen. Lee, talk us through the emotions of hiring Dean Smith, the ex-Aston Villa, ex-Norwich.
Hang on.
Did he get sacked from Norwich like at Christmas?
Get on his flowers first. Let him, gloat a little bit first.
No, I'm happy to move. I'm happy to move.
No,
on.
we're still staying on the topic.
To...
Don't worry. John's going to get time to gloat more. Yeah, but I just want to bring Chappy in because it's fun.
God, you know, I'm dying here. I'm dying. I'm literally dying. Dean fucking Smith. God.
Hey, Craig Shakespeare, he knows the club.
It was Rafa Benitez 10 o'clock this morning. How the fuck did we end up with Dean Smith?
Is it official? It's official, yeah?
Interim, apparently. for 8 games.
But
Till the end of the
I
season.
thought Jesse Marsh was official. I mean, Oscar's here. Finally, we got Oscar in. Let me just get him in. Hold on. Let's get Oscar in because he's going to want to congratulate you as well. Hold on. Oscar, can you hear us, buddy?
How we doing, boys? Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Fantastic.
Okay, good stuff. Yeah, what's happened there with Jesse Marsh? Yeah, I still say, as much as it's gutting for you, Lee, Dean Smith, it's still a far better option than Jesse Marsh. That's all I'll say.
Really?
Far
Hey,
better.
can I let's just pause you a minute. Jesse Marsh turned us down, for fuck's sakes.
Wait, he turned you down?
What
Yes,
the-
he turned us down.
Jesus.
Someone get the
Oh,
news.
you are in
There's
trouble.
Leicester season in a sentence. Jesse Marsh turned us down.
From Premier League champions to being turned by Jesse Marsh in just a few short years. Incredible.
Lee.
No.
Lee.
Lee!
It's bad, isn't it? We're going down. That's obviously they obviously are planning for championship, aren't they? Speaking of which, how do you watch the games when it's the championship? Just asking.
Oh, don't worry. I can tell you all about that. Don't worry. We'll talk offline.
We're experts.
Lee, would you rather have had Jesse Marsh or Dean Smith?
That is a question and a half.
Or some random toe rag off the street.
Well, Dean
Yeah.
Smith,
Or John?
didn't Dean Smith get relegated? So he's got experience being relegated. Has Jesse Marsh experience being getting relegated?
No.
Well, Oscar, he saved you last season. He's your saviour, wasn't he?
Well, I don't know about that. I think probably Rafinha went to Barcelona was the one who saved us, to be totally honest with you. I mean, as much as Jesse Marsh would love to tell us all he saved us, but no. I mean, it's like choosing your favourite hangover, isn't it, really? Dean Smith or Jesse Marsh. I mean, what do you want? Do you want to be sick in the morning, or do you want to have a massive, banging headache in the morning? What do you want? What's the choice out of the two?
I'm
It's a
feeling
bit of a
both
fal-
at the minute.
It's a bit
I'm
of a
feeling
fallacy
both.
as well. It's a bit of a fallacy as well to say anybody saved you because did you stay up on goal difference?
No. In the end, Burnley got beat on the last day, so yeah. In the end, the goal difference didn't matter too much.
So how many points was it?
3 points. I think it's 3 points. It's 2 or 3. I think it's 3 points we stayed up by in the end.
Yeah. So
Oh, you were
that's what I mean.
comfortable then, Oscar.
Pissed it in the end, lads. We pissed it in the end. It was nice.
Yeah,
and
what were
easy.
you worried about all last year?
But the fact that it went to the last game, let's face it could have gone either way.
Oh, God, yeah.
it could
Yeah,
have
we
gone-
went to
So
that last
say
game
a
of the
manager
season, Burnley
saved
was-
you, I think, is giving him a bit too much credit, really.
Yeah.
Because it could have easily not saved, just as easily as not saved you. You know, it's like one game.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing as well is we played Brentford last game of the season, and Brentford went on the piss about 2 nights before the game on their post-season party. They had it 2 days before the game, so I think that helped as well. But
That's what's going to happen to us because Palace will be way clear by then. Last game of the season, they'll go on the piss and they'll just won't turn up against us and we'll survive on the last day. Got it, like it. You're giving me hope, Oscar. Thank you.
There you go.
Well, let's talk about Palace Leeds quickly because Rich, I can't I can't deal with you smiling anymore, mate. Right? So just get it out. Oscar is here now.
No. I'm going to give Oscar 25 minutes because that's what he can talk about before I lay into how brilliant we were. And anyway, Oscar, feel free.
What? 25 minutes of what?
That's how good you were.
You could talk for 25 minutes about after you beat us, all the Leeds fans will come out of the ground absolutely fucking convinced. That was it. We're safe. We're going to fly now. No problems now. Easy street from now
honestly,
on.
Oscar, I'm not saying it's
Bearing in mind the
necessarily
beaters.
you, but the Leeds fans were talking with chest.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They were
Absolute chest.
Including him, Rich. Including him. He's the nicest.
This is a myth. This is a myth.
One that had the best fancy goal on that day was Roy walking around in full Palace tracksuits around Leeds, wasn't he? Did you see that before game? It was caught around in the town, full tracked up.
He was just like, this is light work. I'm just going to have to stroll around the town.
Roy Hodgson mugged us off. It was a monster class. No, listen.
Roy Hodgson mugged us off.
Yeah, basically. I mean, we've got Lee. Lee's got a choice between Jesse Marsh and Dean Smith. We've been mugged off by Roy Hodgson. It's basically over, lads. It's basically over.
What is this
I
show?
enjoyed this championship more anyway.
Speak for yourself, mate.
Mate, I didn't. I say it now, but when you go to like Luton away, you think, no, actually,
Yeah, but-
no.
Hey, Oscar, we could have another 5-5 next season, you know? It could
Yeah,
be.
man, yeah.
But there's something to be said for seeing your team actually win every fucking. It does make you happy. Come on, let's be honest. If you're in that
Oh,
Champions League, it
absolutely.
does make you happy. There's a lot fucking happier than I'm feeling right now.
Oh.
Don't get me wrong. I do not want us to go down, but I'm trying to look on the bright side, and it's fucking fun winning every game in the Championship.
And how many years can you
After
say
your
that for
first couple
Forest?
months,
Seriously.
we didn't get anything, but then you won every
Just the
game.
one.
But in all honesty, for 25 minutes, Leeds were incredible. They were so good. We struggled. Sam Johnston literally saved us. You know, well worked corner, good header from Bamford. I don't know what happened after they scored, because they literally thought, we're going to hold on to a 1-0 lead. I was like, okay, at your peril, you don't know Palace. Like,
They perhaps took a leaf out of Steve Cooper's book, having just played as if, well, I know they lost, but I like that idea of getting the lead and then sitting back and being happy. It's good.
it was mad. I couldn't believe it. I literally thought, first half, they're going to get the second goal and whatever, like, it is what it is. We've got to beat Southampton away next week. And then we started throwing crosses into the box, and I didn't realize, I thought we were bad defending crosses. My God. Leeds were terrible defending. Schlupp should have scored. Like, he's missed from 3 yards.
You're not going to start moaning about not scoring enough fucking goals, are you?
No,
Come on.
it should have been 8. It should have been 8. But in all honesty, second half we came out and we just came out of the traps flying.
I tell you what, sorry, seriously, I wish you'd have played them the game before us and we'd have played them when you played them, and we could have seen what you did and their confidence would have been shattered. It might have helped us a little bit.
Yeah, no, Ryan's definitely done his homework, because, like we were saying, the only way we're going to get any joy is attacking their fullbacks. And we did that second half time after time after time. Like, Ayling, I don't know if this is true. Apparently, he's not playing next season. Like, Roy Hodgson's retired a player. It's mad. You know what I mean? Like, it's all crazy.
This really cheered me up, boys. That's all I'm saying.
I say,
Really
come on,
cheered me
Oscar,
up this
fight
one.
back.
But in
Well,
all
the whole-
honesty,
I mean,
Oscar, no word of a lie. For you to allow Jordan Ayew to get a brace, you should get relegated.
it's not great against us
but
this
you
season
won't.
back, I think.
But you won't. I don't think.
Wait, Rich. Jordan Ayew's one thing, yeah. Andre Ayew would be a whole nother level if he'd scored against them,
No,
yeah.
but Andre's better than Jordan.
He's a good player,
Really?
I like it.
Yeah, he's better than Jordan Ayew. 1 goal in like however many. He's got 3 this season all of a sudden.
Guys in the chat, who's better?
Smashing
Who's
it.
better? Jordan or Andre? Get your put an A or a J in the chat. Let's see what happens there. But Oscar, how did you go from chest out against us? Because I saw your post-match after Forest, yeah. You were talking like you were Brazil, you know, Pastor, don't deny it.
Happy, man. We won the big game against a team that's around us at the bottom end of the table. I was happy.
Mate,
there's only
yeah,
years
there's
away.
happy. And then there's
Years away.
delusional, man. He's standing there in the car park, you know, soaking in the atmosphere, talking about they won the league because they beat Forest. And then how did you feel after you scored against Crystal Palace? That's what we really want to know. Were you starting to look at the European spots, or did you think, what happened? 25 minutes into that game, how were you feeling, man?
March it on.
I'm glad Rich said it, because we did play really well for 25 minutes. If I'd have come on and just said we played well for 25 minutes, you'd have been calling me all sorts. But I'm glad Rich said it. I'm glad Rich said it there. Yeah, listen, I was looking at. To be fair, I was looking at that gap to Liverpool. To be honest with you, I was looking at that gap to Liverpool and thinking, you know what? But now, listen. It was just, yeah. It was a weird game. As soon as Palace scored, I just had that feeling. And then when it went to 2-1, the heads just dropped. I mean, the timing of the goal before half time, I think, just killed us. To be fair, I think we were pretty dominant first 25-30 minutes, but then we finished the half pretty badly. Palace hit the post before that, didn't defend set pieces well, and to be fair, Palace were just ruthless second half. Eze, Elise, you know, the gutting thing is Elise was a player we were linked with quite strongly in the 2021, I think, when Palace signed him. So yeah, we didn't get him in. We signed Dan James instead. You know, it's it's just it. It's just, you know.
Also, I'm going to add some more bad news to you regarding Elise. He was actually due to sign for you until we got Vieira.
Oh, brilliant stuff. That's more good news. But now, listen, Palace's recruitment is really, really good. I think for the price of Eze and Elise, I think you pay less for those two combined than what we pay for Brendan Aronson. So it just shows, you know, for Palace, to be fair to them, have got things spot on. And, you know, it probably shows that...
I wouldn't say it's spot on. We've still got Jordan Ayew, Joe Ward, Nathaniel Klein. I wouldn't say it's spot on. But
Heck, you've scored 5 away from home and you're moaning about your players. What sort
yeah.
of...
You scored as many.
I'm looking up, that's why.
Rich, you scored as many away from home against Leeds, yeah, as Forest have scored all season away from home. I mean, and what do you say to that?
Wow.
Oh, he's gone, isn't it?
Cunts.
Well, you know, for a split second, I thought Ant was doing like the John Cena, you can't see me, and, you know, putting those 5 fingers up.
Wow.
You know?
5-finger shuffle, man.
It's sickening. I love watching Forest score goals, and we don't fucking score any. It's depressing, man. And we don't look like scoring any away from home.
What was that other stat as well?
We've got Liverpool next, but, you know, so Anfield, so, you know, away from home. So we should rack up a few there.
All right, well, let's bring Jason, right? I really don't want to bring him in because he's
a smug fuck. Look at it.
I know, innit?
Why couldn't we have done this stream after the Newcastle game? It would have been so much.
Can we start with that, Jase? Can we start with that, right? Because you told us last week you were guaranteeing us 4 points. You were going to draw with Newcastle.
3, isn't it? Yeah.
And beat. Well, you're still wrong, yeah. So what happened against Newcastle, mate? Because you got tonked.
You know, all I'm saying is, right. You know when like you're beaten down, you're getting beaten up every week, and you're still crawling to the ambulance, like to the hospital. That's us. That is at the moment. We're playing shit football at the moment. Playing god awful football. I don't know.
Hence
how
why you're here, mate.
I don't know how we are winning. Right. That game against Fulham was terrible. Newcastle was god awful. Moyes got it wrong. Everything wrong. I don't know what Souček has got on Moyes. He must have some dirty pictures of Moyes or something. I'm telling you now. There's something going on there. How can he pick him? How can he pick him every bloody week?
Mate, he was your saviour 2 years ago. What happened to him?
I don't know what he's going wrong with him. Why is he in the team? And that. I don't understand how I don't understand how we won against Fulham. We were shocking.
You had VAR on your side.
But you know what? He changed it up. You know, Mike Bassett, 4-4-2. He done all of that, but we're still awful. But we get a win out of that. So, looking at us, I can see us surviving. To be honest, I can see us surviving, but barely.
How did VAR not see that?
I really don't get it. I don't get how we are doing it.
Was it?
Well, Fulham.
Out of all the teams here, we're playing the worst football. I think.
No, don't be silly.
They've gone.
I think we are. I think we're playing the worst football.
You can't.
I think Leicester plays a bit better football than us.
You gonna take that standingly?
How many tins has he had?
Yeah, Jase, I don't think you watched Leicester's most recent game.
No.
No.
No. Listen, for once we actually had some shots on, so I'll give him that. But oh God, we were fucking shit.
I still believe last day of the season it will go down to Leicester West Ham. Whoever wins that will survive.
Leicester will be gone by then.
Do you think so?
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Fred Shakespeare will come in. John Terry.
Unless Lee's going to come in with a huge defence of his team and assure us that they're going to be fine. No.
Lee, do you feel?
No, look. There's still plenty to go because we've got to play some of the teams around us, like Leeds and Everton and West Ham. So, and Fulham, who, like you just said, they're on holiday, aren't they? No Mitrovic, so you could probably get some points from there. I mean, you could. We can't.
We didn't either.
We've got Man City next.
Are you home or away, Lee?
Are you home or away, Lee?
Is it the Etihad?
Oh dear.
Don't think it really matters, lads.
Oh dear.
With Dean fucking Smith in charge. Someone kill me.
I apologise to Mike as well, because I was geeing him up against Man City. I was like, you can do this. You can actually win this. I was like, I believe in this team. And he was like, yeah, I think we can. And then We lost badly, so sorry.
Oh, we can't get him on, man. Mike's done a runner, right? Mike's done a runner. Jack was coming in to cover. His computer's, is about as useful as his team right now. He can't get it on.
Southampton, it's just crap, innit? They just can't even get a computer turn on, you know what I mean?
Because I would be picking on him right now, right? Because in their vlog, I don't know if you guys have seen it, at the end they were going through the scores and they were like, who did Forest play? And they're like, can't remember. Oh, who cares? Who cares? I think they played tomorrow. I was like, you motherfuckers.
Oh, wait, can I just say, by the way, Rich, you need to understand now that you need old managers to survive in this league. You can't get fancy managers now, right?
You've had an old manager all season.
Just 1 second. Dean Smith,
And that's it.
age.
How old is Smith?
Not that old, is he?
Dean Smith, age. He's got to be
Early
50, 52.
Oh, you're screwed, mate. So who's got the oldest dinosaur out of Jase and Rich? It's got to be you, Rich, hasn't it?
Rich, by a long way.
Oh, by a long shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
How old is that ring-called rhino of yours, Jase?
Oh, Moisey.
Yeah.
He's
I think he's
59.
Moisey now,
No,
look, it's
I
won a
think
game. It's
Moisey.
Something like that. Oh,
Oh, Moisey!
The chosen
I
one.
thought you talking about me. I thought it was me. I was like, oh, I'm only 34.
But yeah, either way, we got to respect Roy Hodgson. He was the originator of Mandem FC.
Fucking hell.
He's got obviously.
Why did we have to let him beat us 5-1?
Oh, I'm so happy. Listen, honestly, if it was a 2-1, I would have come on a humble tip. But 5, the way your fan... Listen, all I've done today, on this bank holiday Monday, and obviously yesterday, there was Resurrection Day. All I've done is go... I've put Leeds United on YouTube and looked for all the watch-alongs, all the vlogs, all the match reactions, and I've just been enjoying myself.
Oh, please tell me you.
Good for you, mate. You
Eated
deserve
some
it, I tell you
popcorn
that.
with that.
Absolutely.
Did you see Oscar's one? Did you?
That's wait. Let me put on the add to watch.
Add to the watch list. All Leeds TV at All Leeds TV. You'll enjoy yourself a lot there. All right, I need to bring John back in, right, John? Because you didn't get enough time to glow at Lee, and Lee's got to shoot off in a minute. So I just want to know. Look, I only saw the highlights of your match because unfortunately I had to watch another dire performance by Forest. So I saw the highlights, but were you worthy of that 1-0 win, or was it seriously just Maddison saving you?
No, we were. I don't know how we didn't score 2 or 3 in that game. We could have been 2-0 at half time quite comfortably, and it just weren't able to quite finish it off in the first half. And then obviously Maddison just gifted Billing that goal.
No. By the way, Billing.
Yeah, he's
Unreal.
Billing's one of those players that I'd wonder how no bigger team has picked up yet. To be honest, with the way that he's hitting form at the moment.
Oh, he's a prick, man. I hope he breaks his leg, honestly.
Wow.
Oh, well, fuck you as well. Cheers, man.
Whoa.
Never say that.
That's a bit of a strong comment to say about a human
Oh yeah,
being.
crap! I'm neutral on this show, aren't I? Sorry. Yeah, he's a great player. Yeah, you're doing well with him. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
I could say the same about a few of your players as well.
Whoa.
Ding, ding. Ding, ding.
Shelby,
They're all
Wood.
fucked anyway, mate. You don't need to worry about our injury list.
That's
We could
true,
do with
they'll
a
just
few of ours breaking a leg, mate. To be honest.
They'll do it to themselves.
Wait,
I mean,
sorry
God,
to interrupt. Oscar, did you do any post-match or anything? Because I don't see anything on your channel.
I haven't
mean, if you-
jackass.
I'm free tomorrow. If you want to record it afterwards,
Whoa.
I'm
Whenever
here.
you like.
Knives are out.
Yeah, Oscar, nothing came up on my feed either, to be honest. There was loads after the Forest match, but not too much after the Palace.
Mate, I watched you after you watched our post-match the other day.
Richard's free to do a 15-hour live stream with you, no problem.
Charity one.
Mate.
As a school teacher, I'm enjoying these 2 weeks off. Like, I've got time. I've got time.
Oh, you're gonna school him, are you, Rich? Anyway, back to the Billings the Bellend, right? And John.
Yeah, Bellend scored 7, assisted 1.
Are you gonna hold on to him? He's your only decent player. Let's be honest.
I don't know. You don't watch us, so you know. So
Who does?
You wouldn't really be
There's
able
only
to
like
tell.
5 of you in the stadium you can fit anyway, so it's not. I'm in the majority here.
You wait till Luton Town come up through the playoffs. we won't have the smallest stadium anymore. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I'm not really all that great at gloating, especially as it's still definitely not sold at all that we're going to stay up. Here's how the Bournemouth fan base are thinking at the moment. There's a clip that's gone out from Sky Sports Football of Warnock chatting about O'Neill for about a minute, saying that he's done really well, and he made a comparison of some description between Gary O'Neill and Mourinho. And the entire Bournemouth fan base has basically just dunked on him and saying that he hasn't got a freaking clue what he's talking about. It's like, this manager looks like he's done well from the outside. Most Bournemouth fans are like, yeah, but I mean, come on, any Bournemouth manager would have done better, would have done just as well, if not better, with him. He's got lucky in terms of there's been enough shit sides in this team, in this league, as per.
Us.
We've almost by default gone outside of the bottom 3. So it's just one of those things. I do think that we're in the best position, one of the best positions in the league to get. Behind Palace, we've got the easiest run of everyone down here. We've got Tottenham next, but after Tottenham, we play Leeds, Saints, and West Ham in the space of a week. We win 2 out of those 3 games, and we're safe. I reckon.
You're not going to beat us.
If you lose them all,
no way you're going to beat us.
What you think you're going to come to ours, and you think you're going to? You think you're going to?
No way.
Paddle your way around the south coast, past Dover, and get yourselves up to Bournemouth, and come to ours, and get 3 points with the way you've been playing at the moment.
We need to beat Palace, and Bournemouth will be all right.
Yeah.
You wait till your players are coming out that fucking tunnel and they see that sign. This is the community stadium, mate. You just fucking wait. They'll be shitting themselves.
Oh God!
I love it. I love it.
Jase, just on that Palace game, how are you feeling about playing us now? Because your watching along when we beat you at the London Stadium was like, how? It's Palace! It's bloody Palace!
You know what? I've got so much respect for Uncle Roy. I really do have a lot of respect for Uncle Roy. I think he's a great manager, but we always do well against Palace. We do all right against Palace, So
you do well, then you do all right.
I'm not scared of Bournemouth. I think we'll definitely beat you 2, so that's all right. That's pretty much 3 points each game for us.
Definitely.
You've got as much chance of that as you have as winning your Conference League.
Then, haven't we? As
is your game in hand against Man City, Jase?
Yeah, it is.
Sorry?
Your game in hand against Man City?
Yeah, but you know what I mean? It's...
he thinks they'll draw like he did against Newcastle for that one, so it's fine, isn't it?
Oh God!
Can you keep them to under 6? We'll take bets on that one.
Yeah.
Well, goal difference is getting tasty, isn't it? I think goal difference at the moment.
Oh yes, I forgot. I need to thank you, and Wolvie. You have taken.
Not me. I'm neutral. Speak to him.
You now have the worst goal difference in the league.
Hello.
It was
hello.
It was Bournemouth for so long. We had the worst goal difference in the league, but now it's Forest.
We're the ones that scored 5.
And I need you, and you can have the floor for a minute. What do you say to that?
Forest, but
what do you say to what John said about the goal difference? How do you defend that?
Well, you don't defend it, do you? We let too many goals in.
Yeah, exactly.
Not much defence, is there? It's fact. I'll argue anything when it's opinion, but when it's fact, I don't tend to bother arguing because it's pointless. I mean,
we've scored 40 fucking goals. How are we 19th? What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, what is that? What, you got a goal difference of minus 12?
Because you let 50 win, my friend.
Fuck me, that's
only 2 less than us.
Oh, God.
He scored a lot more goals than us and let a couple in less. But he's still below us.
Don't make sense. Don't make sense.
Don't make sense.
Why am I here? What is going on?
Ah, wait a minute. We've lost 15 games. You've lost 19.
You've lost 19 games.
We've lost
Yeah.
19 games. We've won 2 in the last 15.
Yeah.
You've lost as many as Southampton.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I mean, they are the 2 teams at the bottom. That does
Well,
make
yeah, that
sense.
kind of logically makes sense, but it's a big gap. What I'm saying is we've lost 15. All of us, well, you've lost more, John. You've lost 16 than the rest of us. The rest of us are all on 15 losses.
But what's
apart-
our wins?
Huh?
Apart from
What's our
Palace.
wins?
Yeah, you got 8. You and West Ham have got
Versus?
8.
Wow. That's
How
good.
many have you got? Oh, how many has Forest got? Of course, you're neutral.
6.
Will be.
I'm
6.
neutral, don't
So-
ask me.
6.
So there's
Yeah,
there's
but
the big difference. We've got far
Only
fewer
one
draws.
away. Only won 1 away all season.
Well, and you are looking, I've got to say you because I'm neutral, right? Are you looking now at your only hope is Everton getting points deductions, or do you think Forest are done here? Where are you on this, man?
No.
Is that still coming? The Everton deductions? Is that
Apparently,
actually-
there's talks that it'll be done before the end of the season, and Jase is praying away. It's so
Really? I heard
There's no
it could
point in you
happen
praying
this
because you'll
season.
still go down.
Well, Mike will be back next week. He's promised. He's out in Benidorm hiding because they got tonked in the Man U game. Now, guys, in general, I'm going to throw this open, right? How do you feel about Everton? Because Mike was swinging his dick when he first came on here. Then they got the
Yeah.
Spurs and everything, right? Then I think Man U broke a record in the first half for amount of shots on a keeper on Pickford. I think it was 21 or something
21,
stupid like
yeah.
that, right? Is the Dyche factor wearing off for anyone, or does anyone think they're staying up, or do you think they're going down? So who thinks they're going down here? Anyone in particular? Lee, don't just put it up like in prayer. Like, give me a reason why.
No, I think they're genuinely going to go down. They don't score goals, and I think they're shit. And obviously with the points deduction thing, I genuinely think they'll go down. But I'm not saying we're not going to down, but they are going down. I mean,
Are they shitter than you?
I think Southampton, Everton, and then it's either between me and you, Wolverine.
Southampton, Everton. So you think?
So it's going to be Southampton, Everton, and either Leicester or Forest. One of us.
See, I
I'm
think
feeling
that's a
quite
bit
left out here,
simplistic.
boys. I'm not
because-
going to lie. I thought you were
I
going
think
to have
that's
us
a
in
bit
there, Lee.
simplistic.
I was about to point the finger this way at Oscar. Oscar, you're not safe,
No.
mate. You're not safe.
No,
No.
not at all. Lads, we're not safe by any stretch. You seen our last 4
Nobody is.
games?
Except Palace.
Yeah, your last 4 games
City
are
away.
horrible, man.
City away, Newcastle home, West Ham away, Tottenham at home. Our last 4 games. We've
But
got to
it's
do
the
it here
3
and now.
before that, Oscar, where you need your points.
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't
We've
it?
got to do it here and now. If there's any hangover from yesterday, we're fucked. Honestly, but I don't know. But you look at West Ham. West Ham obviously get beat 5-1 at home as well, and bounce back straight away. So it's just a weird season, isn't it, boys?
Who's your next game, Oscar?
Liverpool, you got Liverpool.
Liverpool at home.
Well, how are you feeling about that one? Liverpool on the road are not the same as at Anfield as they
yeah,
are at
that's
Anfield
true.
at the moment.
Yeah, very.
Away.
It's one of them. I think I just see a high-scoring game. I think neither team can defend particularly well. They still can't defend for me. Well, certainly not as well as they could in the past. We can't defend particularly well either. I think the big thing for us at this moment in time is Max Verber's availability. He's such a massive part of that back four for us. He just leads it.
How long is he out
Miss that
for?
leadership on the pitch. It's unknown. He could well be back for Liverpool because it is this time next week, Liverpool games. So he's got another week to recover. Tyler Adams is out for the season, which is a massive blow. He's our best midfielder. Max Verber is an absolutely massive one for us now because I'll be honest with you, there's no leadership outside of Max Verber in this squad. I think it's desperately missing that bit of experience, that bit of know-how. He's absolutely massive for us. There's no doubt about that.
What about Bamford? Because my jaw dropped a little in your again chest out post match on Forest. You were saying that although he couldn't hit a goddamn, that chance he had. Yeah, was one of the easiest chances against Forest where he decided to drag it wide at a post. But you were quite complimentary on him. Which one? You were quite complimentary on him, talking about his hold-up play. But is that really what you need? Is he that good at linking up the play and holding it up? Because Rodrigo's the better striker for me, man, surely.
Yeah, listen, I've been on the Rodrigo hype train since pretty much the first 2-3 games of the season. He's been an absolute monster for us this season, Rodrigo, in terms of to get 12 league goals. He's been out injured for a couple of months as well. Phenomenal, really, return-wise for us. Listen, he's a frustrating player when you watch him. He can't hold the ball up particularly well. But you know one thing, you can stick the ball in the back of the net, and that's probably what we need from our centre-forward, because we haven't got tons of goals around. Around the centre forward either. So yeah, listen, I've watched Rodrigo in for quite a few weeks really. I do think Bamford is fairly underrated, but Rodrigo's the better player.
I think goals are going to be important, John. I mean, I look at Solanke, right? Last year in the Championship, he was knocking them in for fun. Yeah. This year he's been quite alien, hasn't he? I mean, Billing's been your main source of goals. You got Kiefer Moore as well, who got. Well, when you cheated against Forest at the end of last season, he scored that goal, but he's been quiet as well.
Goal that your players couldn't defend. That one.
Was that after the penalty that should have been given, but you paid the linesman up? But anyway, talking about it, because I think goals are going to be important in this run-in. And I look at the teams here, and I agree with Oscar. Rodrigo's probably the most prolific goal scorer out of anyone we've got here. I'd probably say Ings. I don't know where he is. Jase will come on to Ings in a second. And then obviously they got Jordan Ayew, but anyway. But I'm looking at Ian Solanke. Solanke, I always thought was decent at Championship level. Is he struggling to make the step up to Prem?
I'd say he isn't converting as efficiently as we'd like. He's definitely not. He's not really as natural a finisher as you might think he is. I think he missed more big chances than any player in the Championship last season. And so the issue has been so far this season is he's been playing too deep because we've been defending so deep and we've been unable to get it to him when he's in the box. He's only in the last couple of months as he actually really started getting consistently large numbers of touches in the opposition box. Normally he's in single figures. But we've just not been creating chances. I think we've created the fewest chances of anyone in the division. And to be able for him to score, we need to actually supply him with good chances, and we've just not been doing that. We've now started to, but one of the other issues is that we have also the fewest number of players to score a goal so far this season out of anyone in the division. We aren't sharing our goals around much at all. The ones we do score are going through the same few players. Like,
who's your second top goal scorer after Billing then? Is it Anthony, the two he got against Forest?
No, it's joint between Moore and Solanke on 4, I believe. I know Kiefer Moore's on 4, he would be second. And I think Solanke scored against Fulham to take him to 4. And Tavernier as well, he's on 4 as well. So I think we've got three players on 4 goals. But yeah, after that, we've only had one defender score so far this season. Senesi got 2. Just haven't had too many that have actually chipped in with goals. It's just we've had a lot of bad defeats, but we've had quite a lot of narrow wins, which is weird. It's quite the opposite. I didn't realise. Leicester's wins so far this season. They haven't won by a single goal yet this season.
Yeah,
they've only when the going's good they thrash teams, but their 7 wins have all come by 2 goals or more. Whereas whereas with us, it's mostly been the scrappy ones. We haven't won by more than a goal very much this season at all. There's a few, but not many. So we've started to solidify a little bit, but most of our points have come against teams in and around us. So the fact that we've got a good run in really sets us up nicely. But yeah, I mean, I mentioned it before, and on another season we could easily have been cut adrift. It's just been a bit of a freakish season. Yeah. There's no doubt about that.
I think that point you make, John, about you've picked up apart from the Liverpool game, most of the points you've been picked up are those key 6-pointers in and around us. I mean, you got lucky against us at the City ground. You got a point, so you've had 4 off us. You've
6 off Leicester, 2 off. We've got 2 off Newcastle. But I mean, we lost to Palace, we lost to West Ham, we lost to Southampton. But we got 4 from Fulham.
4 from us. How many have you had against Leeds?
Leeds, we lost. We've still got to play them again. Where the hell have we got our wins from? Oh yeah, we beat Villa first game of the season, so that definitely helped. But I mean, to be fair, we've won in our last 8 games. We've won 4 of them. That's the kind of sudden burst of form that's just taken us bang. Wow. We're on 1.5 points a game at the moment, and that'll easily take us out. Oh yeah, Everton. That was the other team. Yeah. beat
Well, here's a
Everton,
question for you
beat
though,
Wolves
John.
once as well.
Here's a question for you from the chat. When are Bournemouth getting their points deduction for having such a shit stadium?
You could level that at half the teams in the division, mate.
Oh dear.
I tell you, if you just need to go and travel around, and when everyone's having a bad day, then every stadium in the country is shit. But yeah, okay, fine. We got the smallest ground in the league. That's fair
In the
enough.
world. Wrexham's one today looked bigger than yours, mate, on TV. I'm not gonna lie, man.
Wrexham has 3 stands, doesn't it?
Exactly.
By the way, what game?
Yeah, that was an incredible game. But yeah, look, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what the size of the stadium is if you go down. So it's
true.
It's all about staying up. I mean, I'll hold my hands up that we've needed the money to help keep us going, because the size of the stadium definitely makes a huge difference in that. But if every team down the bottom in League 1 and League 2 was like, well, we've only got a 10,000 seater, we'll never make it to the Prem. Bit of money.
Haven't you got John?
Can I say, look, Bournemouth have done a fantastic. It's amazing. It's an amazing story. What they've done with that club is unreal, really. I mean, a club of this size, with all respect, would normally be expected to be down in the Championship at best.
At best.
Do you get pissed off with this narrative? And I hear this a lot. Now, I'll be honest with you. The majority of like podcasts I see with opposing fans, particularly from the bigger clubs, but in general, is that I hear it a lot. We want Forest to stay in the Premier League. They're a proper club. They're a big club. They've got a nice stadium. And exactly the opposite comes when we talk about Bournemouth. Yeah. Get them out. They shouldn't be in. Shitty ground. No history. Does that really piss you off, or do you just think, I don't care?
I mean, it's annoying because it's just such a lazy thing to say. I think because I think
it's true, John.
But it is lazy, though, isn't it? It's just lazy. Because the thing is that if you just go by history, if you just go by history, like, why should Man City get just automatically be so good now? Because they've go back more than the 20 years since they got injected with cash.
In the 60s and early 70s.
They weren't like Everton big, were they? Everton. People in my generation probably have no idea that Everton used to be like the team in England for like a good couple decades. They were winning everything, bigger than Liverpool. They were the bigger team in Liverpool. But nowadays, you've got the big 6 up there, but that might change to the big 7 because Newcastle has got some money in, and then in 20 years' time, you'll wonder why Newcastle weren't ever considered a big team. But it's just the fact that really those people that say Bournemouth should leave and we want Forest in, those neutral fans that look at it, you'd ask, okay, who are the big sides that deserve to be in the Prem? And they'll jot down a list, and that list will probably go about 25 teams deep. You can't have
Sheffield. They always mention Sheffield Wednesday as well.
Sheffield Wednesday. You mentioned Sunderland in there.
Yeah.
You
Blackburn.
mentioned
I've never thought Sunderland as a big.
Maybe Blackburn. They're Premier League winners. I think they deserve to be in there. But if you keep naming teams, you'll get 25, 26 teams deep. As like, if you were only shuffling in and out the same teams. Surely that'd get a bit boring. You need someone to break things up eventually. Brentford would never have made it in. And most people now would say, well, the Premier League wouldn't be the same without Brentford anymore. Same with Brighton. Neither of them are historically.
People still want to get rid of Brentford, Bournemouth, Fulham, all these little teams. This is just
let me ask this question.
All of the new teams.
Let me ask this question, Jase.
I see later.
Jase, who's the biggest? Who do you think is the biggest team in this beat the drop out of the 9?
Well, it's got to be the Premier League champions, isn't it? Leicester, aren't they? They're the big boys.
I did not really.
No. Listen, I've got to give them credit. They won the league, mate. They won the FA Cup. I can't, Oh, and then second, it's us, obviously. But
well, where's your logic? Your logic just falls out the window there, mate.
No. Second is us, obviously. We've got the history.
You can't like contradict your logic.
How many times you won the league?
We're world renowned as well.
How many times you won the league? How many? In all your history, how many times?
Listen, Drink your
No, I'm
Pinot
asking
Noir
that.
over there,
Simple
right?
question. How many
Go
times
sit
have you
and
won the
drink
league
your
in your
Pinot
history?
Noir or whatever you're doing over there.
How many
right?
times have you won the league in your
crap.
history, Jase? How
Buddy,
many times?
years ago. Years
How
ago.
many times? How many times have you won it in your
Oh,
history?
here we go. Bring it out. How many times? How many times?
Wait,
I wasn't even
Jase,
born
Jase.
when you won it. I wasn't even
Just
born.
asking. Just asking. It's a simple
That's it.
question. You can't say it,
It's
can you? Do you
old
want me to say it
news.
for you? Do you want me to say it for you?
Listen, he's sus, right? But like I said, Leicester.
Shall we move on to the European Cup?
Boys here.
Wait, hold on. I just want to go back to your logic, Jase, right? Because you were selflessly, and I didn't expect it. You said Leicester are bigger because they've won the league, they've won the FA Cup.
You know, they won the league.
Okay.
You know,
But how can you then put yourself second on that logic is what I'm asking here.
Come on.
You can't use one logic to put first place and then you as second place like that. Guys in the chat, who is the biggest team out of the 9 in this? Get your answers in there.
You disappeared. No offense, but Forest disappeared. You know, under Cloughy. You know, it was Cloughy's fault that you got relegated, wasn't it? Really. So, and then you disappeared after that. So,
No,
I gotta ask.
too much trust in him.
Let me ask Rich this, because Rich, your club's pretty insignificant. I mean, have you won anything? I can't think in my lifetime of anything you've won, right? So you'd be the most neutral to answer this, yeah? Because you guys get excited by beating Leeds 5-1, for example. That's like a winning the league.
I would.
Yeah, I was going to say, you'd be pretty excited by that, wouldn't you?
I fucking would.
And I'll tell you now, I like you and I hope you stay up. I hope Wolverine goes down now. I know that used to put the team down.
I'm neutral.
Clearly.
Rich, I hear that a lot, mate. I hear that a lot.
We hear it from our own fan base. Don't worry, mate.
If we're talking obviously historically, then you're going to throw Forest into the mix there. Everton have a shout as one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget about them because he's not on the panel.
He's not-
I forget about him,
Rubbish.
So I'd say Everton, obviously for the likes of Palace, West Ham, Bournemouth, Wolves. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, we're not in the running. Because even Leeds, to an extent, like historically,
Leeds are a big club, yeah. Leeds are a big club, yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, Leeds, I mean, I remember when I was a kid and they were with David O'Leary, wasn't it? And good time and he's back.
Let's go back to Don Revie, Alan Clark, Peter Lorimer, Eddie Gray, Billy Bremner, Johnny Giles.
Does anyone know what names he's talking about here? Because I don't.
No.
They were
Tell
massive,
Grandad
mate.
to go to bed, mate. You know
They
what I
were
mean?
massive.
Like,
Look, football is about history.
who are they?
Let me teach you something. Football is
Don
about
Revie,
history.
Don Revie, he
History is
killed
all
the
that
England
matters
team.
in
He
football.
killed the England team.
Hang on, wait. History is the only thing that matters in football. Your entire club is built around your history. The only people that deny that are people that have not got any. History is what it's all about. You know, you talk about Real Madrid, got, 15 Champions Leagues? 5 of them were in the 50s. But they still count. You don't say, oh, no, they don't count. They've only got 10.
Well, hold on a sec. They've
club
been
is
winning.
your
They've been winning
history.
Champions League left, right, centre every bloody week. They do.
Yes,
When's
but
Forest won
yes,
anything?
but they won the first
But that's
5
the
when
thing,
there was
that's
virtually
different.
no
You can't-
teams
you
in
can't-
it.
you can't
But they
do the
still
same as
count.
Forest.
Jace, what have West Ham
They
won?
still count.
Yeah,
What is your history?
Wake up.
What have West Ham
Wake
won
up.
in the last few years?
Sorry,
Is anyone
Anne,
interested in
what
the
did you say?
actual trophy numbers to see who has actually won?
All
the
right,
most
let's do it.
trophies?
Let's put this to bed. Go on, John. Put some facts to this.
Okay.
Palace 0.
Out of all these teams, it is Everton that have won the most. They've got 9 League Cups, 5 FA Cups, and a Cup Winners' Cup.
Yeah, but Mike's hiding, so that doesn't count. Yeah.
Then you've got
And leagues
next.
as well. John, leagues as well. They've won the league as well.
Yeah, I said 9 leagues.
Oh, sorry, 9 leagues. I
9
thought you said
leagues.
9 league cups.
Not
Sorry.
not 9 League Cups. 9 leagues. They haven't actually won the League Cup. Then next on 9, actually joint on 9, is Wolves with 3 leagues, 4 FA Cups, and 2 League
Wolves?
Cups. Yep.
Wow.
And joint with them is Nottingham Forest with 1 league, 2 FA Cups, 4 League Cups, and 2 UEFA Champions Leagues, or the equivalent of.
They get extra points.
Then you get Leeds on 7.
Elise.
You've got Leicester on 5. West Ham on 4.
We won. We're there, mate. We're there.
Wait, John. What did they win though? That was an Intertoto Cup, wasn't it?
3 FA Cups and a Cup Winners' Cup.
A cup.
Yeah.
That's
which
Europa,
is
basically.
Intertoto, I'm guessing.
Europa,
Then
Europa.
after West Ham,
Palace have 0.
Southampton on 1. They've won an FA Cup.
What
I
are we
think that's
doing with
it.
the rest of the history? I mean, what
think
are
that's
we
it.
doing?
Yeah.
And Palace have won promotion a few times.
Yeah,
Wait.
Bournemouth have won the championship. That's about what we've got.
Wait, so Bournemouth and Palace have nil points.
Well, in terms of the biggest comps, yes.
Yeah.
But then we've been outside of the third and fourth tier for 12 seasons in total. Our most recent 12 seasons. We've not had the opportunity to win any of these.
What's your excuse, Rich? You guys have been floating around.
We don't spend any money.
No, you bring it. You spend all your money on archaeologists to bring back dinosaurs.
It's working though. It's working.
It's winning,
Who
winning,
win 2 games in a row?
Yeah, three goals a game. Best return in the Premier League this season from any manager. Small sample size, but you'll take your victories where you get it.
100%. Shamelessly.
Jason's got to be quiet.
Yeah, Jase, that shut you up a bit, mate. With your 4.
Well, it hasn't shut me up. This is the thing. You lot just go on about the old history, past. It's all about now. It's all about why are we all on this show? Because we're all dying and
We're
might
shit.
leave this.
Speak for yourself, Jase.
Don't worry about past championships and all that crap. It's all about today. It's all about now, and we're gonna survive. And remember that.
Champions of Europe, you'll never sing that.
Well, Oscar, you guys do have a bit of history, yeah? Do you guys feel that you should not be in this fight? Because you've been very similar to Forest in terms of a bit of bouncing up and down in the championship and stuff. You look like for a bit you might have been establishing yourself under Bielsa, exciting football. How come you didn't kick on? What happened? And that's it. Was it getting rid of like Rafinha and stuff? Is that what's cost you, do you think, over the summer?
Well, listen, I mean, history means absolutely fuck all. If history did mean anything, we won 6-5 against Palace yesterday. It means nothing. It means absolutely nothing at this point. We wouldn't have gone into League One. Us and Forest wouldn't have gone into League One if it meant anything. It really doesn't mean anything. But yeah, listen, Rafinha going was a massive one. That was a big one. I mean, he was always going to go. He was always going to go at some point. But yeah, I mean, I keep mentioning Jesse Marsh, and I'm still trying to find a way to blame Jesse Marsh for yesterday. I'm trying really hard. I need to find a way to blame Jesse Marsh for this. He went into the dressing room at half time. I need a narrative to just play off, to just calm me down a bit so we can blame him. But no, listen, I mean, we've been absolutely dreadful for 2 seasons now. Recruitment-wise, we haven't got it right at all. I said about Palace, for the cost of Elise and Eze, we spent like 3 times that on the likes of Brendan Aronson and that lot. Decent players, but not really justified their fees. It's things like that as well. And obviously Jesse Marsh just wasn't good enough. We didn't back Bielsa when we should have backed Bielsa, and it's kind of been a knock-on effect from that. And it's just been a steady decline for 2 years, really. And listen, I think under Gracia, I do believe in Gracia. I still believe he's good enough to keep us up. But I mean, I think everyone, is probably good enough to stay up in their own right. So it doesn't really mean anything. I think it is literally, it's all about who's got that dog in him. Now, between now and the end of the season, who's got that dog in him for the last 8 games of the season? Simple as that.
Oscar, can I just
go
ask
for
this,
it, man.
because Oscar wasn't here to stand up for Leeds last week, because when we went round doing our predictions on who would go down, I have to say my bottom 3 had Leeds in it, but at the same time, that's because I wasn't really sure. I was a bit uncertain because I was pretty confident. Oh well, now I'm very confident. I think Leicester are probably down along with Southampton. But do you think you're going to be good enough to stay up? Do you think Javi Gracia's got enough that he can get enough out of this? Because he's obviously a much more defensive manager than your last couple of managers. Has he got enough to keep you out of the relegation zone?
Well, just before you answer that, Oscar, let me shout out so the rest of the panel know your remaining fixtures. Yeah, and then we'll go around and ask them what they think about Leeds as well. You got Liverpool next, then you're away to Fulham, then you got Leicester at home, then you got Bournemouth away, and then Man City, Newcastle, West Ham. Man, West Ham are going to go Leeds and then Leicester in the final two. Bloody hell. And then you finish at home to Spurs, who are God knows what you'll get with Spurs. But yeah, go on. That's the backstory. Where do you think you are right now, Oscar?
To be honest, it's hard to say. It really is hard to say. Have we got enough to stay up? I think after the Forest game, as Wolverine keeps reminding me, the good old neutral Wolverine over there keeps reminding me, I was happy after that Forest win. But yeah, listen, it's going to change every week, isn't it? At the minute, it feels a bit 50-50 to me. I think it just depends on, can we keep Sinisterra fit? Can we get Verba back into the team? I think if we can get both of those things, I think we have got enough, just about. Probably similar to last season. It'll go to the last day of the season. Hopefully, we might just have enough. But honestly, when you're hanging around that relegation zone for 2 years, you're asking for trouble. You just are asking for trouble eventually. And the fact of the matter is, out of all of us, to be honest, Leeds are the only ones with that little bit of experience in this relegation battle. And one thing I can say to you is that this time last year, a lot of Leeds fans thought we were safe then. And we had a much, much bigger gap this time last year than what we do now. So, we only just stayed up last season, so it cannot get carried away at all. And Burnley, absolutely out of nowhere, looks dead and buried probably around this time last year. They went and won 3 games on the bounce out of nothing. This is why I can say the same about someone like a Leicester, for example. I think everyone is... I'm not necessarily ruling out Leicester, but I think everyone is probably ruling out Leicester if you're picking out the 3 teams to stay up, or to go down, sorry. But it can quite easily happen. Do not presume anything at this point. Honestly, don't presume anything. The only thing I can presume a little bit is Palace are probably okay. I think Palace, they've got that nice gap. Not just that, they've got the traffic as well between them and the bottom 3, which is a massive thing too. But do not rule out anything. Trust me, last season, don't rule out anything. We had a 10-point gap at one point between us and Burnley, and it still went down to the last day of the season. A lot can still happen.
Rich,
obviously,
just on that, Oscar. Oh God, sorry, finish up.
Go on, Oscar. Finish. Go on, Rich, jump in, because Oscar makes a good point, because you are swinging your piece around a bit, yeah? Just before you do, try and swing some more, yeah? As Ed says, we got well over 200 people watching and only 60 likes. And guys, every single one of these creators' links are in the description. So take a second as well to go give everyone a quick follow. It's completely free to do. It's the time they're giving up. Yeah, they don't have to do it. I hope you're enjoying the shows. I just love the banter that we get on here. So if you're enjoying it,
your team will stay up.
Exactly. If you subscribe to all 9 teams, you are going to help your team survive more likely. So please take a second to do that and hit the like button as well on the stream. Rich, Oscar is giving you a really good one.
All 9 teams as well.
Sorry. Say that again, Oscar?
If you become a channel member of all nine teams as well, that
gives you guarantees you European spots, yeah.
If you want to sponsor all 9 channels as well.
What I was going to say, in all honesty, and this is me becoming my humble self again, yes,
here we go.
We're 6 points clear, but honestly, we lose to Southampton, we were dragged right back into this and stuff. But I feel...
Are you home or away, Rich, on that one?
Away. I think this week's the most pivotal one, only because the teams around us have quite difficult games. So Everton are home to Fulham, so I've written that off because Fulham are on the beach.
Are you giving that to Everton?
Yeah. Fulham they've no interest at the moment.
Mitrovic out still, isn't he?
Yeah, Willian as well, I think.
So obviously, we're away to Southampton. Bournemouth are away to Spurs. Now, we don't know what Spurs are going to turn up. Wolves are home to Brentford. Leicester.
We don't know what Brentford will turn up.
Yeah, Brentford have not been good away.
Leicester are home away to Man City. West Ham are home to Arsenal. Forest are home to Man United, and Leeds are home to Liverpool. So this is the week I think we need to win, just to.
That'll do it, won't
for the
it?
distance. Yeah, I think that might.
That'll do it.
Just
win
because
that, you survived. You're off the show. So.
No.
Could well be.
I'll come back and put my feet up.
I don't think the boys will let you, mate.
No, Wolvie, Rich can be the actual
Chelsea
neutral
instead,
after
lads.
that.
I could actually be a neutral.
You could host it, Rich. You can host it. Yeah.
Why
So I think he makes a great point there. Yeah, I don't like it, and I'm liking him a lot less. But if they beat Southampton, it's the same. Jack's computer's imploded. But Southampton are not as bad as we think they are, Rich. I mean, I watched them against Man City. They scored against. I mean, obviously, it's not for everyone to take a point from Man City at home. You know, only like Forest can do that, so to speak. But they're not as bad as their position suggests, if I'm being neutral and honest about it. So are you going there claiming the 3 points, or do you think it's going to be a bit of a fight?
Honestly, I'll take a point. And the only reason I'll take a point is because I wasn't expecting anything at Ellen Road. You know, so I'm kind of like flipping the
scoreline.
Yeah, sort of. Because you're right, like when I saw them against City for 40 minutes, up until they conceded, really, they were well in it. They were well in it, and like if Sulemana could sort out his touch, well, I'm happy he hasn't, but I'm just saying, you know, if
Maybe
he
this
had,
weekend.
I hope not. He's someone I would have signed myself, to be fair, for us.
He's
Maybe we get him as the Wolf replacement if they go down at a discounted rate. Maybe, I don't know.
He's
But
very raw though. His final product
he
is all over the place.
He is very raw.
Yeah.
Like everything he does up until the edge of the box, it's very good.
Which sounds like Southampton to a T. Everything up until the edge, up until they get in the box.
Yeah.
Because they're just another one of those teams that just like, you know, you've got to score goals, and you've got enough teams down here that are struggling to score goals. Southampton struggle. Wolves, as was said, basically, you know, they don't score more than a goal generally.
Mate, what was that worldie about? Seriously.
Yeah, that's absolutely ridiculous. And then you've got Forest are struggling to score. You've got Leicester are struggling to score. You've got West Ham that need their opposition to put it in their own net for them. Yeah, it's just so many teams are struggling to score. So it really...
We will be stupid going into that Southampton game and thinking it's going to be a walk in the park.
I agree. But do you think they're done? Do you think Southampton are gone?
I do think they're done regardless. You know.
Does anyone think Southampton have a chance of survival? And sorry, Mike, and sorry, Jack, you're not here to defend. I don't think they would. But is anyone giving them a chance? Because their running isn't that easy either. I mean, Forest have got a hard one.
I would always give anybody a chance because it's football. You don't know. Southampton could win the next 2 games. I know it's unlikely. I don't even know who they're playing, but they could.
Well, let me just shout you out Southampton's fixtures. So they've got Palace next, then they're away to Arsenal, then they got you, John. You're away to them, aren't you? So they got you at home. Then they got Newcastle away, then they got Forest away, then Fulham at home, and then they finish with Brighton away and Liverpool at home. I mean, do you give them anything, Ant?
You don't know. We drew at home to Manchester City. You just don't know, do you? It's. I always say this about football. People. I get a little bit annoyed. It triggers me a little bit when people talk in definites. They're definitely down. They're definitely going to lose. There's no such thing as definites. We drew at home to Manchester City.
I'm not saying definite. I'm saying, are you giving them any credit? Because they're already 4 points adrift.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for them. I mean, if I were to put money on anybody, it would be Southampton, purely because of the table as it is. You know, they've got to overtake 3 teams, haven't they? So that's not going to be easy. Yeah. So those 3 teams, I know it's obvious, but they've got to have better results than 3 teams above them, and that's not going to be easy in their situation. So I don't give them a lot of hope, but I would never say never.
Yeah, they're definitely not gone complete. They're not definitely gone. They've got, you know, you can't write off a team that, you know, we all thought were gone, and then they beat Chelsea and got a draw at Man United.
And yourselves, John. Everybody knows you.
That was true. Before we played Liverpool, I think it was Southampton that people were thinking they might have a chance, and Bournemouth had definitely gone, and then gave it 2 weeks, and suddenly it was a flip reverse, and there were other teams that were struggling. And
John, especially after Arsenal, because that felt almost like Arsenal have shown they're going to win the league, and then you were going to get relegated. It was one of those moments, wasn't it? Jase,
brilliant performance though. It's a brilliant performance by Bournemouth. That was. I mean,
yeah,
I
want Arsenal to win the league, but Bournemouth really, really deserved at least a draw out of that. You know?
Yeah, unfortunately, it wasn't to be.
I just want to talk about West Ham for a minute, because Just Matt in the chat is a hammer that's usually in here, one of your boys, Jase. He's saying your fixtures are quite scary. So, Jase, I'm just going to run you through them, yeah? You got Arsenal next at home. Does that matter? It's at home. Do you think Arsenal will be feeling the pressure? Then you got Bournemouth away, you versus John. Then Liverpool, away to Palace, away to Man City, at home to Man United, away to Brentford. Then you've got Oscar's boys at home, and then you finish away to Leeds. That's nearly as bad as Forest's run, mate.
Yeah,
Are you worried about that? And don't forget your Eurovision Song Contest game in there with Ghent, somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we've got the hardest, and Forest as well. But yeah, it's going to be tough for us. But like I said, we've got experience. We've just got to look at the games around us, the teams around us, I think, to get points off, to be honest. No offence. I think that's the way for us to survive this season. So Palace, hopefully Palace do win on the next game, so they're on their holidays. Do you know what I mean? So then once they come to us, they won't give a damn if they win.
Do you think that's better for you, or would you rather Palace stay dragged into it?
I want Palace to. I hope Palace wins the next game. So then when they come to us, they don't give a damn what's going to happen. They're on the holidays.
Of course,
You've
the
got to
flip,
go to
of, the flip of that, Jase, is that they could come there relaxed and think they want to send one of their rivals down. That's the flip of that. That can happen.
Is there much needle between you two? Is there much needle? Is there much beef? Because it's East London, South East London. It's closer than bloody Palace, Brighton. I still don't get that one. But
Not really, no. Like,
Nah, I wouldn't say there's.
I've got family in South London, so I do like South London.
The only thing, Jase, that I mean, yes, let's hypothetically say we do win our next two, which are Southampton away, Everton at home. We're then looking at a top 10 finish, which is mad.
He's not lying.
I'm not. We're 6
No,
points behind
really?
both Chelsea
Really?
and Fulham. It's that crazy.
Really?
You know,
You're
I'm
really
not-
thinking that?
I'm not. No, I'm not saying that I'm expecting it, but I'm just saying that. Say we win those games.
I'm telling you
Behind
now.
Chelsea,
Once you
did you
survive-
sit behind Chelsea and Fulham?
6 points behind
Yeah,
Chelsea.
there's 6
and
Well,
Fulham.
points.
they're
Fine.
dropping like a fucking stone. You win your
And
next
this
two
is
match,
it.
you could be level with them easy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm telling you now. Once you win, once you survive, that's it. You're done. Uncle
Not
Roy
with
will be
Roy in
gone.
charge.
Yeah, no,
His
yeah.
head will be gone.
Not with Uncle in
Your whole
charge.
team will be on there booking their holidays. We all
Jase,
know.
it's a good question, Jase, because do you think you're going to turn into Fulham, or do you think Roy is going to try and put a case together for a permanent job? I think it's.
No.
I think Palace should keep Uncle Roy.
Let him rest.
You can't
In peace.
There is now needle.
So you need to get the old guards in to really to survive in this league.
No, I reckon he'll stop at the end of this season, and then in 6 months' time, Palace will be ringing him up again, and his wife will kick him out the door again, and she'll be going, "Give me some peace, go and manage somewhere," and probably Crystal Palace will get him back again.
But seriously though, if he goes on a W streak right now, yeah, all the way to the end of the season, for argument's sake, apart from obviously the last game of the season, I'm neutral. Surely there's a case to put him in. Would there not be a certain segment of the fan base saying, "Look what he's just done. He's saved us. Let's give him some money." Well, not that you ever have money, but some, funding, some backing, and see what you can do with a summer.
Or will they look at West Ham and think, "Oh, they kept Moyes on after he saved them, and that's not going well."
Yeah, and I think with this, I think the fans are going to say, "Listen, it was COVID when he left us. We haven't been able to give him a proper send off, a proper thank you. So if we survive, that is what's going to be. It's going to be. It's going to be like, thank you for turning our season around, sort of thing." Yeah, he's 75 years old. Just enjoy his retirement.
Yeah.
And I think it would actually hinder us as a club, because with Vieira, we were trying to move into a new direction with a young progressive manager. It didn't work out, but I don't think we should then go, "Oh my gosh, let's go back to the Allardyces and stuff." No, we're gonna just have to keep trying if we want to progress.
You did that with De Bruyne though. That didn't work out as well. So
No, De Boer.
De Boer.
Yeah, but
De Bruyne, sorry.
he was,
He would probably do a better job, to be fair.
honestly, Jase, he was a toxic piece of work. He was so bad. He came in and he was just alienating all the people.
How long did he last? Wasn't it like 5 minutes?
5 days. He was so
Sanders Wolf, thank you for subscribing, and make sure you're all subscribing to everyone on here as well. So appreciate it. I want to bring up, John, this is something you shared with us earlier on the group, and it is scary and fascinating all at the same time. It's the Opta Index, and I nicked it and made a short out of it, so thank you for that. But it's scary, isn't it, how it's flipped and flopped? And I'm going to pick on you, Oscar, because on the 6th of April, Leeds' percentage chance of dropping, I think this was it after the Forest match, this one, was 10.6%. After you lost to Palace, as Rich has,
Mentioned.
told us memes tonight, it's gone up, it's doubled, well, it's over doubled to 23.2%. Now, it hasn't dropped you into the bottom 3 of most likely, but it's the biggest movement on the percentage of anyone. You've increased by nearly 13% in your likelihood for relegation. Does it worry you?
Well, we did lose fucking 5-1 at home, to be fair.
I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it.
Stupid idiot.
It was going to increase a little bit. But now, listen, last season, I keep referring to last season, but there are some similarities. It did kind of swing a lot between us and Burnley. Like every week, it went from I think we doubled a couple of times, Burnley doubled a few times, and then we halved. It will change a lot, that. I reckon it'll probably swing between all 9 clubs quite a bit as well. But yeah, I mean, it's based on, I'm not even sure what it's actually fully based on, the Opta Index. So I know there's more to it than just looking at the results and that lot. I know it's
and the fixtures that are coming up, etc., and form.
Bit of underlying data as well, and stuff like the XG and stuff like that. But listen, it was always going to swing when we got beat, absolutely battered 5-1. And I mean, reality-wise, it's swung quite a bit. I mean, I'd love to see what it would have been at, say, 1-0. Say if we had held on and won 1-0, it'd probably gone down to about 7 or 8%. But you know what I mean? We still wouldn't have been out of it. But yeah, listen, of course it's a worry. I'm worried to the fact that we lost 5-1 at home to a team that was a relegation rival, probably isn't now. I mean, of course. I mean, if any of us lost 5-1 to each other, then that team that loses 5-1 is definitely going to be massively concerned. And
that's an 8-goal swing as well on your GD.
Yeah, the goal difference, the confidence-wise as well. You concede 4 goals and a half. 4 goals and a half. When you were pretty dominant in the first half an hour, it's just the whole momentum has totally swung. And I've seen this happen to Leeds before. The season we tried to get out of the Championship, first season under Bielsa, we were cruising to promotion. At that point, we were playing Wigan at home, 10-man Wigan, 1-0 up. Against 10-man Wigan, you're thinking, flipping heck, we could almost seal it here. We lost 2-1. And then our whole season, momentum-wise, confidence-wise, battered. Absolutely battered. And listen, yesterday's worried me. Will it be a similar reaction? We're just completely fall off the face of the earth and completely stink the place out these last 8 or 9 games. I'm hoping we've got enough games left to recover. But I'm concerned, lads. Of course I'm concerned. We've got our star defenders out. Our star midfielders out for the season. There's no... Tyler Adams will not play the game this season. Sinisterra's in and out injury-wise. And even when Sinisterra's fit, as good as he was against Forest, can we get 90 minutes out of Sinisterra? Probably not. He's not had a pre-season. He's been injured most of the season. It's not ideal. So, we've got to... What are we, 4th favourites now, according to the Opta Index?
5th. Everton, it's at the moment, it's Southampton, Forest, Leicester, Everton, Leeds. So you're 4th.
I'd say we're more likely than Everton.
5th.
I think Everton just... I know they got beat at the weekend, but I think Everton have got a bit too much.
The flip side, the person who should be worried here, and I'm looking your way, Forest was 63% to go down last week. They're now 70.8. They've had a chunking of nearly 8% more. Second favourites behind Southampton, even though they are not second bottom in the table. Do these stats worry you at all?
No. Don't care. Don't care what the fucking odds are. Don't care what fucking Opta say. It's football. I keep saying it. We're playing Manchester United on Sunday. We're not necessarily going to lose. We might, but we could get a draw against them.
Jase is laughing at you, mate, and I don't blame him.
Nobody will predict it. Man U no great shake. No great shakes.
What big team did you beat this? It's Man City, wasn't it?
Liverpool.
We beat Liverpool as well, but it's no big deal.
Yeah, we did that. It's not that impressive.
I've got a question, actually. I'd like to ask the guys. It's a semi-serious question, but it's something that really confuses me. With the Everton situation and this possible points deduction, do you feel that the Premier League should be making that decision now? Because if they wait till the end of the season, they're not just thinking, do we deduct points? How many points do we deduct? They're thinking, do we relegate this side? And that could affect them. I think it's ridiculous that you wait till the end of the season when, like, Forest may be in 18th position, going down, but then they say, oh no, we're going to deduct Everton some points now. It just seems really weird that they do it when the season.
I was speaking with Dan Lawless about this. He was saying that they're not going to do it because it's going to tarnish the Premier League, you know, of the status it is and everything of this points deduction.
Yeah.
And everything.
Yeah,
So he's saying he can't see it happening at all. To be honest, I think they're just going to get a hefty fine, which means nothing in football now.
Well, perhaps does to Everton because they're in financial shit anyway.
Yeah. So, but I can't see it happening. The points deduction, to be honest, I really
no. I'm dubious, and like I say, I feel that if they were going to do it, they would do it like now. And what they're waiting for?
Yeah.
Another 6 weeks.
Because it's happened many times in the Italian league, and look what it's done to that league. Yeah. No one gives a shit about it no more.
Yeah, but that was bribery and corruption as well, Jason. Yeah.
Oh, it's different.
Yeah, it is different. It is different. Yeah.
But the other thing, I just can't see. There's such a protection around the Premier League and the whole status.
Because obviously in the EFL, they've been dishing out points deductions like confetti, haven't they?
They have, yeah.
Yeah, they have recently, yeah.
You know.
There was a bit of controversy about a delayed points deduction. I believe I can't remember whether it was Wigan or was it Birmingham a couple of seasons ago, where there was a points deduction that wasn't given towards the end of a season, which meant a different team went down as opposed to the one that should have got a points deduction. So it does depend on sort of how close to the end they do it, and obviously the FA is different to the Premier League as a body. What I would say is the other thing would be that I think I was just having a look before we went live that Sky Sports put out a report that basically if Everton go down, which obviously a points deduction would basically guarantee that, there's a decent chance they'd struggle to continue operating because they're at £430 million of losses over 3 years. I think is that which is massively, because you're allowed to make I think it's about 103 to 108 million you're allowed to lose in 3 years,
105, I think it is,
and they've quadrupled that.
So what are they waiting for? I'm not wishing this on Everton, by the way. I am. I'm not wishing this on Everton, by the way.
I think a lot of people are.
You know what, to answer your question, and it's basically they check the club badge. That's all they're doing, because Reading's had their 6 points deduction, and they're now like a point above the relegation zone.
Well, no, they're in the relegation zone.
They're in there now.
They're a point in it, yeah. But it is also, as I mentioned, it's FA and the Prem are different bodies that will treat things differently, and there's no doubt the Premier League is just purely the fact that the way they run things in terms of like how many votes you need to pass something, it's like, and the big six are trying to change that to make sure they get all the voting rights. There's a hell of a lot that goes on there. You've only got to look at Man City and how that's taken a while, and there was a lot of talk about how they could get any kind of punishment.
There's talk of relegation, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was talk of relegation. That's not happening because the Premier won't let it happen.
It's not going to happen because you got to think about it. The Premier League need to make their money. If they lose the likes of an Everton, who are historically a big club, Manchester City, who are financially a big club in a sense, like they're going to lose. No one's going to care about the Premier League. Like the Merseyside derby is probably one of the biggest derbies in the Premier League calendar. If Everton go, no one's going to care about watching Liverpool games.
I agree, and I loved your point about the look at the badge, because with all due respect, John, and I mean this in the nicest possible way, would they be as lenient if it was Bournemouth?
No, they would. I don't think they would.
Bournemouth.
No.
And
Bournemouth.
I mean, I'm going to bring in
I agree with you. I totally agree.
Last weekend's game, and yes, I hate Brighton, but the corruption in that game alone. Yeah,
that was outrageous.
The Spurs one.
There were four decisions at a minimum that went against that.
It's the big six bias. It's disgust. It's a disgrace. You know.
Like when we had an apology from the FA. Brentford, big club bias.
Oscar, what do you think? Do you think?
With Everton, I mean, Everton, there was talk around 3-4 weeks of the season to go that Everton had done this with FFP. It was a threat last season. And I think us and Burnley teamed up, I think, the final week of the season, saying, look, are they going to do something about this? And it went on and on until I think towards the end of the season, Everton pulled a decent gap of about 5 or 6 points, and it kind of got to a point where if they are going to deduct points, it's not going to be as many as 5 or 6, and it just kind of went away. In the end, Everton only actually finished, I think, 3 points above Burnley. I think level on points with us, so it could have made a big difference in the season. And I think Burnley pushed it until after the season finished, and I think the same would have happened with us if we'd have gone down. We'd have pushed it, and I just think that. Yeah, I just can't see anything happening on it, to be honest. I really can't see anything happening on that. Whether it had been any different, had Bournemouth done the same thing, had Palace done the same thing, had Leeds done the same thing, I don't know. I'm not going to go too much into that. But yeah, listen, the Big Six bias, we know there's a Big Six bias. It's clear as day, isn't it? It's been there for like 10 years, really, the Big Six bias. But yeah, I can't see anything happening on that at all. Similar talk last season. It kind of went away, and sure they'll be hoping it goes away again this season. Nothing against Everton, but financial fair play has to be there for a reason. It has to be there for a reason.
I don't know if you're aware of the history of our...
Take action when a team breaks it, and it's made a massive difference in the outcome of the season.
I don't know if you're aware of the financial history of our sheep shagging cousins down the A52. But they got away with it for
mate.
And Leicester got away with it as well. When they got promoted, they got away with it.
Yeah.
And it cost us. But with Derby, they delayed it. I mean, they eventually got it, the deductions, but they delayed it so long that it was Middlesbrough and another club that actually were going to court saying that, but because you didn't do it then, it cost us a place in the playoff and everything.
Yeah.
Because and Middlesbrough.
Was it not you, boy? Was it not you lot who was in there as well? Forest.
What? Sorry.
Was it not you and was it not Forest and Middlesbrough who went to court against Derby?
No, it wasn't.
It's not Forest. No.
It was Sheffield United off the top of my head. Someone in the chat will say it. It might have been Sheffield United. Thank you, Ronnie, for subscribing. I've put the poll up there. Will Everton get docked points for the chat? And 80% think they're not gonna. I think what I want to ask about this, thank you, Scott, as well, for subscribing. What I want to ask you guys about this, do you think the Man City saga is slowing it down as well? Because the talks was when they announced the Man City 100 charges that this would go on into next year, etc. But there was this rumor coming out a couple of weeks ago where they said this Everton one will be done. Apparently, they spoke to all the owners of our 9 clubs and said they will get this done before the 28th of May. Is that not a hint in itself that there is a glimmer of a chance of a points deduction? Do you think?
The difference between Man City and Everton, obviously, is that Man City can hire the finest lawyers in the world and wrap them up in red tape for years. Yeah. Everton can't do that, so it's easier to actually do it to Everton than it is to do it to Man City. But wait until the end of the season is ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree. Should be done now.
The biggest thing these clubs do is delay. Like sort of Chelsea, over the years. I mean, Chelsea eventually got a ban, but it took about, again, like 10 years to actually get the ban. Chelsea were overspending around 2003, 2004. They only actually got a transfer ban, I think, was it 2017, 2018-ish?
Yeah.
The biggest thing for them is delay. The longer you delay it, the more chance you've got to get the trophies in the bag. You've already built a super squad. It doesn't matter.
You buy them in, don't you? So what Chelsea did, they bought all those youngsters in, didn't they? And all those...
Yeah. They're doing it again.
They had them all. So when they got the one window ban, was it?
Yeah. Remember when we had it, Aaron? We had the transfer embargo ban. Yeah. All right, guys, let's move on to this weekend's fixtures. I want to go around and see how confident everyone is. So we'll just go around chronologically. Aston Villa, Newcastle, we don't care about that one. Chelsea, Brighton, we don't care. How do you guys feel about the Everton Fulham one? Obviously, Mikey's not here to talk about it. Are you guys all giving that to Everton at the moment because Fulham are on the beach, or does anyone think Fulham can come off the beach and do us all a goddamn favour?
No, I think it's pretty written, to be honest. I think Everton's gonna grab a 1-0 goal, 1-0 out of that. I think
that puts them up to 30 points.
Could still just be a draw. I mean, West Ham needed an own goal. Could see it being a 0-0 because I mean Everton aren't exactly scoring much either. So you never know.
Could be.
But it's 30 points pushes them right up to be level with you, Jase. So you kind of need your boys to do you a favour there.
I know, Fulham. Like, if I could, just what I'm looking at the camera now, Fulham, please. I'm begging you. Just do it. Just do it. You listen. You've got a chance to get somewhere, get more money up the league. Please, just win. That's all I ask.
He's
We
begging you
all
guys.
say amen to that. Just very quickly before we move on to the next one, Andrew, thank you so much for gifting a sub, and that's gone to Frankie first. So make sure you thank the legend that is Andy for gifting you a sub. Absolutely legend.
A membership.
Sorry, yeah. Okay, Rich, I'll come to you on the next game. You're away to Southampton. Yeah, you talked about how you felt and by beating Leeds 5-1, etc. But in isolation, do you fancy your chances or not? Are you putting yourself down for a win here?
Yes.
You hesitated.
A narrow win. I think because it's at St Mary's, you know, they seem to be doing a lot better there than they are anywhere else, really. So, probably like a 2-1. I'd say.
2-1,
I
okay.
Palace winning that. I've seen Palace winning that.
Is anyone giving Southampton a point or a win on that? The rest of you boys?
Not. I think
I'd
Palace
still
will
see
win,
Palace winning.
but there's always a chance. I tell you what, I'm not going to say it
I didn't
anymore,
get to
'cause I
say
think you
this,
know
sorry.
my views on that, but I would give Palace the win. Yeah.
I did get to say, I think if Southampton lose the next 2 games, it's done.
They're done. Jase, is it better that Southampton lose or stay in the fight from a West Ham perspective? Do you want them done?
I don't know. Looking at the table, what's Southampton's? Have they got a lot of the boys around us in their matches? And
Southampton have got some tough games. I'll quickly shout them out. They got Palace, then Arsenal, then Bournemouth, Newcastle, Forest, Fulham, Brighton, Liverpool. That's their running.
So looking at it, really, it's just Bournemouth, really, isn't it? That's the main culprit. There,
Imagine
really.
if Bournemouth
It doesn't
confirmed their
matter, really.
relegation.
They're done, aren't they? Really. So.
Yeah, I think you'd see. I think you may well see a party in the streets in Bournemouth. In all 5,000 of our fans, you'd see them partying away. If we are the ones to send Southampton down, it won't be confirmed. I don't think it'd be confirmed if we were to beat Southampton by any means.
No.
But it would be. I think it would be as near as done if we did. But yeah,
It's
I
3
could see-
games away. It's 3 games. I think it'd be close, but I don't think it'd be quite that. I think you're right, John.
No, I could definitely see that being something go down in folklore a little while for Bournemouth fans. Depends how long Southampton stay down there, of course.
And it could be Forest that confirms Southampton going down, because Forest have got them 2 games later. But no one's giving them a point then on this one. Okay, interesting.
Which means they'll probably win.
That's the thing. I don't know. John, do you want them cut adrift, or would you like Palace to still be dragged into this?
No, I'd rather see a couple teams just push away and make sure that the rest around us keep losing points. You don't really care too many how we're still in it, as long as you're not in the 3 by the end of it. And the best way for that to happen is for 3 teams to keep losing, and one of those is Southampton. So I'd much rather see Palace win that one. And in fact, I'd much rather see Palace win all their games this season, because they're playing everyone around us apart from us. Don't beat us. We'll come there with a range of draw. There's a point. We'll take a point. That'll do.
Your logic makes sense. The next one, again, Scott couldn't be here tonight, but Wolves are at home to Brentford after they got the wonder goal. Oscar, do you reckon Wolves can take Brentford at home? Brentford, are they on the beach? Guys in the chat, what do you think?
I mean, even Ivan Toney's missing penalties, so you just don't know what to think, do you, with Brentford? I mean, that's just madness. I've got a feeling of a draw.
Guarantee
probably quite a low-key.
Tony's put a bet on himself missing a pen.
Yeah, exactly.
He got good odds as well, wouldn't he?
It's worth the bet.
Yeah.
But are Wolves still in it, Oscar? Are Wolves still in it? Because I'm just looking at the table now. I think they're on 31 points, so they're 2 points clear of you.
If you can't score goals,
That's the thing.
score goals, you're always going to be in it. You can't just rely on clean sheets at this stage of the season. You've got to win games. They've probably still got to win 2 or 3 games. If you can't score goals, then the great win against Chelsea, no question about that. But it is an absolute wonder goal, isn't it, to win the game?
Yeah.
It's an absolute
Crazy.
wonder goal, and how repeatable is that? It's one of those. But I think Wolves will be okay. I'm not saying Wolves will go down, but they're not out of it yet. I wouldn't say that. If Wolves do start scoring goals as well, you probably got to say they're okay. But they're not totally out of it. Could easily get dragged back into that. 1-2 bad results. Tony turns it on for Brentford. It could easily drag Wolves back into it. But 0-0.
Yeah, I mean, they've got, just looking at their fixtures, they got Brentford, then they got Leicester, then they got you, Rich. So they are playing the teams in and around them after this Brentford one. I mean, that Leicester one could be huge. And then obviously you're away to them the week after. So they're not out of it, but they could drag themselves out of it with a couple of... It's so tight, isn't it? It's so tight. It really is.
They've had a few chances as well, Wolves, to pull out. A few times to pull really out of the... against us as well, when they played us at home, I think they could have put a 6-point buffer between them and relegation. They lost to us, and then they've had a pretty... up to Chelsea, they've had a pretty nasty reaction since that as well, but they've had a few chances to get themselves out of it and just haven't taken it thus far, to be fair.
You know the one where I thought it turned, John, was against you, where you beat them away. Yeah, I felt they'd penciled in 3 points there, and then it was a 1-0, wasn't it?
Yeah, we beat them 1-0, and then what did they drew with Fulham, lost to Liverpool, but then they beat Spurs at home, and I think that sort of gets them back in.
Yeah.
But you got to say that after Brentford, Leicester, Palace, Brighton, those are the next 4. After that, they play Villa, Man United, Everton, and Arsenal. Like, if they don't get safe within the next 4,
they're in trouble.
Then they're in trouble. Admittedly, playing Everton, they'll probably at least get a point from that at home. But they'll be looking at Leicester being. If they don't beat Leicester, then they're still well and truly in it, because you can't see many places they're going to get points up. Because Brentford, I think, have got a good chance of beating them. But I do think Wolves will stay up, but they need to get their points now. Otherwise, they might struggle.
Yeah. Next game, Man City, Leicester. We're all giving that to Man City. It's at home. That's done, isn't it? I don't think a Dean Smith miracle manager. I mean, I'm literally jinxing it. But okay, then the next 2 games, Jase, you got Arsenal, mate. What's the score gonna be there?
Yeah, we're not gonna win that. You know what? I'm positive.
Is the realism?
Draw.
There we go.
Draw.
No, then he spoils it.
Draw.
Well, are they planning another tweet? Up the creek without a paddle kind of thing.
We're paddling up there. Yeah, a draw.
Yeah.
The
Anyone
pressure's on Arsenal now. The pressure's on Arsenal now. Maybe
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Seriously, and
maybe still something there.
Does anyone give this delusional twat the time of day with that one a draw?
With a balanced view, Arsenal are going to fucking smash him.
And you are not balanced, Dan.
Smash him. Huh?
You're not balanced when it comes to your beloved Arsenal, mate. He's a secret Arsenal fan, by the way, in case you guys didn't know.
It's all coming
Rich,
out.
do you see anything for West Ham in that game? Could Arsenal, because it is getting tight. It's getting tight with Man City. We've seen it in the run-ins before.
I think
Playing West Ham.
I think that draw against Liverpool and the manner in which it happened is the worst thing that could have happened to West Ham.
Yeah,
That's what you mean. Yeah.
Maybe you're right, Rich. Yeah.
Jason's got all quiet.
I don't. Yeah, I'm just.
And so, Rich, that was kind of what we were thinking with regards. With Liverpool beating Man United 7-0 the day before the game before we played them. I was thinking, as long as they beat Man United, they might take it off. They might take off the gas. I thought 7-0. I was worried because it was like, oh crap, they're in form. But no, if the reverse happens, Arsenal not winning that game means that they are going to go full pelt at West Ham, and I do worry that they'll take it out. I say I'm worried that they'll take it out on West Ham. I'm hoping they take it out on West Ham.
You know when you think to yourself, well, you don't know, funny things happen in football, as I keep saying, and they could go there, and then you think of the players that have actually got at Arsenal, and you think, fucking hell, no.
Yeah, but I look at the players at West Ham, and I know I love to take the piss out of Jason Lawless, but they got a good squad, man. And then they strengthened that with Danny Ings.
You're talking Danny Ings rather than Gabriel Jesus or Alessandro Trossard, Saka, Martinelli, Partey, Zinchenko.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Salah missed a penalty against Bournemouth.
Salah was shit against Arsenal.
Salah missed a penalty against Arsenal as well. So it seems to be the thing for him. No, I think Arsenal will win that one, and I think it's a matter of how many really, but. You never know. It's just.
That's nice. A bit of positivity from you lot, guys. You know what I mean?
Jase, I tried to help you, mate, but
Yeah,
they're calling you
I've been
delusional.
waiting for that, Jase, when they come round to my fucking fix.
Well, we're coming round to you now. Your boys have got Varchester United at home, 4:30 Sunday. And are you winning that one?
I doubt it, but I wouldn't put it. Seriously, guys, you can laugh, but I wouldn't put it past us getting a draw. You've only got to look at our home
They
record.
got Europa League. They got Europa League on Thursday as well, Man United.
Our stadium, our atmosphere, it does work. But otherwise, you could not explain our home form compared with our away form. If it made no difference, we'd be the same, wouldn't we?
Let me just counter you there, though, Ant. Sorry to interrupt you. Forest are currently the longest-serving team in the Premier League who haven't won at home in recent form. I'm neutral.
Fuck off, you twat. What about? Come out with bullshit like that.
Yeah. Can you
But we've not been
rephrase that,
losing.
Wolby?
We've not been losing. We lost to Newcastle with a handball in the 93rd minute. Apart from
Still
that,
lost.
Yeah, I fucking know that. I just said that, you bloody idiot. Right? Apart from that, we've drawn against Wolves, drawn against Everton, drawn against Manchester City, so we can get a draw against Man United. It's possible.
John, you were saying rephrase what?
So I was a little confused by how you said that. You're saying as in it's been a while since you won since Forest won at home. Basically.
Out of the 20 teams in the league, Forest have been the longest now without winning at home.
Right.
On recent form.
Cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a hard one to phrase.
Your last win was at home to Leeds.
Leeds,
beginning
yes.
of Feb, wasn't it? Yeah.
Correct. Thanks for reminding us.
You have got draw.
You've got
draw. You lost to Newcastle, but you got draw against Wolves at home. You got draw against Everton at home, and you got draw against Man City at home. You know,
I think I just
if
said
anything, a draw's on the cards. I'd say against Man United.
Exactly. Yeah.
You never know.
And Man U aren't great away from home. Rashford is out. I know Casemiro's back. Damn it! But Rashford is out. Man U are not that great shakes away from home. We have a good home record. I think we can get a draw.
Is a draw enough, Anne? Is a draw enough to Forest?
Absolutely. A point's a point. Absolutely.
And I think the issue is they've got Casemiro and Eriksen back now.
Oh, that's a good point.
I know.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not going to say I'm not worried. Of course I am. Bloody hell, look at where we are. Of course I'm worried. All I'm saying is it's not beyond the realms of possibility that we could get a draw. And being a Forest fan, that's what I'm going to cling on to. You guys can sit here and say we're going to get smashed 10-0, fair enough. But I don't believe.
Hey, if you were away from home, I would say you will get smashed 10-0. But you are at home.
And I would agree.
So you've got a chance. By the way, just a quick one, because I know we went off at the end of your last game. Is Niakate out for a while again?
We don't know yet. It looks like a hamstring.
So that's probably.
Last time we were on, I said, the reason we're going to stay up because we got Felipe Niakate, two gods at the back. That didn't last long, did it?
No.
Rich, do you give Forest a chance against Man U? Can we have a neutral opinion on this one?
Unfortunately, no. I mean, Rashford potentially being out because it'll probably inject him with something. Him potentially being out. And your home form at the very best a point, but no. I tried, but I don't think so.
I tried, bless him.
Jase, you going to return the favour to Ant here? Forest, Man U?
I really hope you lose. I really hope you lose.
Well,
I want you to lose like 8-0. I want you to lose.
Well, it'll be worse than our 8-1 last time, but okay.
My heart.
Will you stop it, you up in the top left?
You're going to lose. Badly.
Mate, how do you think Forest are going to lose, but you're going to draw with Arsenal? I'm a little confused.
Yeah, we'll draw against Arsenal. You know, put the pressure on Arsenal. You know, it's all piling up for them now. It's all piling up for them.
And then the final game of the weekend's on Monday, Leeds Liverpool. Liverpool aren't great away.
The game, mate.
Have I missed one off?
We haven't mentioned Bournemouth yet.
I did. You got.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
Oh, Spurs. Sorry, you are insignificant. Sorry, mate. It was accidental.
Hang on. Wait a minute.
I wasn't even trying to troll you or cuss you. Sorry.
You are insignificant. Was that
Spurs, Bournemouth, away to Spurs. Actually, John, this is an interesting one because what do you get with Spurs?
Yeah, that's the thing. You really. But okay, but here's the funny one. I just looked up Spurs' home form this season. They've won their last 5 at home. They've got 11 wins and four losses. They haven't drawn once at home. I'm not entirely sure. 2.2 points per game at home. Before looking that up, I was like, oh, maybe a draw, and now like, okay, let's try and get a draw out of this one. But I don't give us a lot of chance on that one. But at the same time, I suppose it depends. Is VAR are they going to be paying off VAR again? Because we will have absolutely.
You need to score at least
no
6 to get 1 goal.
If that's exactly. You need to make sure you're not tugging away at shirts, because that will definitely give them the penalty, unlike vice versa. I don't give us a lot of a chance, but at the same time, when they came to ours, we did go 2-0 up. Unfortunately, we then went and lost 3-2. So
I remember that one. You collapsed, mate.
Yeah, it was. It was
a corner goal at one stage, wasn't it? That turned the tie. I remember that one.
I think it was 2 of the 3 were corner goals. Actually, I think.
Yeah.
I think it was. No, it wasn't. It was the last one. I think it was a corner goal. But no, I think it wasn't. It wasn't Højbjerg. It was the. Oh God, I've forgotten. The Uruguayan midfielder that they've got. Bentancur. He came on and completely changed the game. He was immense. He
won't be there tomorrow.
He completely changed that. So yeah, that's a good point. So I mean, look, we've got a chance because we have just managed to just get points here and there. But at the moment, we're on a pretty decent win.
I've noticed that.
So we're going to lose, basically. But hey, if we lose that one, and then we win the next one, which is at home to Leeds, I want to say. It's either Leeds or West Ham, I can't remember. And then it's Southampton midweek, lose that one, then win the next one, we'll be up. So if we keep going win, lose, then we'll stay up. And I don't really care, to be honest. But I don't give us much chance, but we might nick a draw.
You gave Arsenal a damn good game.
Yep. But I mean, we did catch them cold with a goal in 11 seconds.
I know, amazing.
But yeah, we've got a chance. We've got a chance to get a point. Of course we do. But I don't give us too much of a hope on that one. Our away form isn't exactly great all season. But it'll be interesting. It should be a good game, I think. Regardless, I'd expect quite a few goals because away from home we do tend to concede. So we'll see what happens on that one.
Rich, do you give them any hope against Spurs away?
Yeah, because Spurs are weird.
That's one way of putting it.
They fail upwards.
I don't know how they're still up there. I don't get it. It's terrible. It's a shocking team.
And I must admit, Harry Kane's getting on my nerves as well. Like he's
always has
diving
to be.
around and I mean, on paper, no, obviously, but like I said, with Spurs, you just don't know what one's going to turn up. So, unfortunately for John, I think Spurs will win, but it would not surprise me if they get a point out of that.
What about you, Jase? You hate Spurs, so surely you want Bournemouth to win.
I've got a feeling it's going to be like such a draw. It's a bore draw. It's going to be that game. It's definitely going to be a bore draw.
Yeah,
I would take that.
You'd be happy with a point?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I've just looked up. On average, our away games feature 3.5 goals. And we'll normally concede those. Obviously, one of them is a 9-0. We lost 4-0 to City. We lost 3-0 to United. So our record against the top 6 is not good, and our away form is much worse than our home form. So, all told, it's all going against us. But at the same time, we're in an okay period of form. I could see us nicking a draw. Like Jay said, it could be a ball draw, but no. If anything, I expect quite a few goals. I think we'll score, but I'm not expecting us to get much from the game.
Well, boys, I think to summarise one thing.
Hang on. You've not asked me.
I'm gone then. Well, I know you hate Spurs, so you're probably going to back Bournemouth. That's what worries me.
First of all, I absolutely disagree with you saying that Bournemouth are insignificant. They're very, very significant. If they finish below us, that is mighty significant, right? That's the first thing.
Way to flip that.
on the game itself, Spurs are so shit, but they're going to win, aren't they? I don't know how they do it. They won't deserve to win, but they will win. That's just the way it is this season with them. I don't get it, but that's likely what's going to happen.
Okay. I think, just to summarise, though, none of us are any clearer on who's going down. Apart from, we're still semi-convinced Southampton are going down. Maybe
Chappy's
we're saying
certain
Rich is
Leicester's going
safe.
Yeah, Chappy's certain Leicester will go down.
Chappy thinks Leicester going. I mean, we will reconvene this time next week and we'll see is anything clearer. So I want to thank everyone in the chat. We've had like way over 250 on average in here. So thank you guys so much. Please just take a second, go into the description, hit a quick subscribe button, and all the socials are in there. Boys, as always, it's been an absolute pleasure. I've really enjoyed tonight's episode. I guess we'll reconvene next week, and thank you all for your time. And come on, you Reds. Yeah, you pray, Jase.